Welcome to Mind Set in Stone podcasts, where we dive deep into the most compelling books on the shelf. Join hosts Dave and Poppy as they uncover the stories, themes, and ideas that shape our understanding and inspire curiosity. Get ready to explore the big ideas that leave a lasting impact. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Mindset in Stone podcast,
where we take incredible sources, stacks of them really, and pull out the absolute key insights.
Exactly, giving you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Today we're embarking on, a deeply inspiring journey. It's a deep dive into the collected autobiographies of the truly unparalleled Maya Angelou.
It really is an absolute privilege to explore her life, her words with you. Our mission today, I think, is to distill that profound wisdom woven through her remarkable experiences. So we're offering not just a chronological retelling, but more of a thematic exploration. We're looking at her incredible resilience, her continuous journey of self-discovery, and the sheer power of finding and amplifying your own voice.
Absolutely. We're going to trace the rich tapestry of her life. We'll be looking at excerpts that cover her early childhood in Stamps, Arkansas, that burgeoning independence in vibrant San Francisco, then her transformative adventures across Europe and Africa, and, of course, her pivotal role in the civil rights movement. You'll hear, really in her own words, how she navigated these immense personal challenges, how she constantly reinvented herself, and crucially, how she used every single experience, good and bad, to inspire millions.
This isn't just a biography, is it? It's truly a blueprint for enduring hardship, for transforming oneself, and ultimately for soaring. Reaching incredible heights despite the odds, we're going to highlight practical takeaways throughout, things you can actually apply to your own life, encouraging you to reflect on your own journey, those moments of struggle and your triumphs too. Get ready for some profound aha moments, the kind that stick with you.
Okay, let's unpack this incredible life story. Our journey begins, as so many formative stories do, in Stamps, Arkansas. A place that for young Maya was really a crucible of early experiences, some beautiful, some absolutely heartbreaking. The excerpts paint such a vivid picture, so poignant, of a childhood marked by profound displacement. She recounts being sent by train from Long Beach to Stamps at just 3 and 4 years old, with only the porter to look after us.
Wow, 3 and 4.
Yeah, and this wasn't just a trip, it was this deep emotional separation from her parents, leading to those gut-wrenching, silent questions in a child's mind. Why did they send us away? And what did we do so wrong?
It's striking, isn't it, how those early, often painful experiences didn't break her. Instead, they seemed to lay the foundational groundwork for her incredible resilience later on. We immediately see the profound influence of her grandmother, Mama, a figure of immense, unwavering strength, and her beloved brother, Bailey. It was Bailey who taught her to walk, and later who gave her the name Maya. It's also really significant that her first autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, is dedicated to my son, Guy Johnson, and all the strong black birds of promise who defy the odds and gods and sing their songs. That dedication isn't just, an acknowledgement. It immediately grounds us in this enduring, defiant spirit that really characterizes her entire narrative. It foreshadows a life lived not just surviving, but actively defying expectations, finding profound beauty and purpose, even amidst adversity.
And she explicitly thanks her mother, Vivian Baxter, and Bailey for encouraging her to remember. What's truly striking is how, even amidst chilling incidents like that group of girls mocking her grandmother, imitating that strange carriage that was Annie Henderson and her pooched-out mouth, or those palpable unspoken anxieties around adults discussing white folks and the unspoken dangers of doing it, even through all that, Mama's formidable presence, though maybe not always outwardly affectionate, provided this unshakable framework. Work, duty, religion. Mama would often brush off questions of love with this pragmatic, almost austere reply. God is love. Just worry about whether you're being a good girl, then he will love you.
It's such a fascinating blend of strictness and, unwavering foundation.
It's absolutely fascinating how that seemingly simple, almost pragmatic guidance on faith and duty, coupled with such vivid, sometimes painful memories of those years, ultimately fortified her. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How does actively engaging with our personal histories, even the challenging or, seemingly contradictory parts like Mama's tough love, how does that become a source of strength?
Right.
Maya Angelou's acknowledgments of those who explicitly encouraged her to remember and who believed in her, like John O. Killens, who told me I could write, and Robert Loomis, who gently prodded me back into the lost years, they powerfully demonstrate that memory, even of pain and trauma, can be meticulously crafted into a source of power. inspiration even.
And the rich sensory descriptions she offers, like Sunday breakfast with thick pink slabs of home-cured ham, cathead biscuits, and crisp perch fried so hard we would pop them in our mouths and chew bones, fins and all. These aren't just details, are they? They highlight how the vibrant, lived texture of life, even the humorous chaos of Sister Monroe wrestling the preacher, contributes so deeply to a sense of belonging. Identity. These are the very anchors to her developing self.
Oh, that scene with his Sister Monroe is just incredible. You have to picture it. The way she keeps grabbing the preacher as he's trying to jump away, and he keeps on preaching, even after she grabs him again, making everyone wonder if it would ever end.
Yes.
And then Reverend Thomas pulls out his teeth in the middle of it all. It's just wild. It's such an uproarious yet deeply human memory of faith and community. And it culminates in Maya and Bailey's uncontrollable, almost physical release of laughter. I cried and hollered past gas and urine. It shows that intense emotion, the release, and the truly unbreakable bond they shared. It's a reminder of how profound spiritual experiences can also be utterly raw and human, isn't it?
It truly is. And that bond with Bailey is absolutely crucial throughout her early narrative. The vivid recount of their shared vulnerability, crying together after receiving those gifts. Gifts that, instead of bringing joy, reminded them of being sent away. It reveals the profound shared experience that can forge these unbreakable bonds, provide comfort in times of questioning, loneliness. Their quiet, shared tears under the chinaberry tree speak volumes about the isolation and confusion of childhood displacement, but also the deep solace they found in each other. It's a powerful testament to how familial connections, especially those forged through shared hardship and understanding, become foundational pillars of one's identity and resilience.
That deep connection, forged through such shared vulnerability, truly underscores how resilience is often communal, not just a solitary journey. So our first practical takeaway for you, our listener, is this: cultivating resilience through memory and community. For you, this means actively reflecting on your past, deliberately identifying the figures and events, both joyous and challenging, that shaped your strength, and understanding how even difficult experiences can profoundly contribute to your fortitude.
Exactly.
Like Maya, you can find profound aha moments in your own life's tapestry, realizing that your history, in all its rich, sometimes messy complexity, fundamentally makes you who you are today. This isn't about dwelling on the negative, but consciously recognizing how every experience, good or bad, builds your capacity to endure, to transform, to grow.
And as Maya grew, her world just dramatically expanded beyond the confines of Stamps. San Francisco became this vibrant beacon for her, a destination she saw as a state of beauty and a state of freedom, especially for a 13-year-old black girl stalled by the South and Southern black lifestyle. The city's fog, she noted, was a soft breath of anonymity that shrouded and cushioned the bashful traveler. This move wasn't just geographical. It was a dramatic leap towards independence. And very quickly, a new set of profound challenges, particularly as a young, single mother.
It certainly was. And it's striking how she confronted her circumstances head-on. With such raw honesty, she describes her son's birth, feeling he was totally my possession and I was afraid to touch him.
Wow.
That raw, unvarnished honesty about new motherhood, the initial fear, the awkwardness, and later, the tender joy of him snoozing in the angle of my arm is just incredibly relatable.
Yeah.
She found herself grappling not just with the practicalities of motherhood, but with external judgments, too, like the women who commented on her son's light skin, saying, Jesus, he looks like he's white. He could pass.
Oof.
Right? This was an early, painful confrontation with societal perceptions of race and beauty that deeply impacted her. She said she shriveled that she could say such a terrible thing about my baby, and it would continue to shape her understanding of her own and her son's identity.
What's fascinating here is her rapid immersion into incredibly diverse roles and environments, and the remarkable way she adapted. We see her move from the meticulously ordered domestic world of Mrs. Cullinan's Alice in Wonderland house, where she learned a new language of dishware and silverware, identifying tureens, goblets, butter knives, and was renamed Mary, essentially stripped of her own identity.
Yeah.
To the tough, street-smart world of managing a prostitution house at 18 in San Diego. There she took a percentage as financial backer, and in her words, layered that experience with forgiveness and a conscious affectation of innocence.
Incredible phrasing.
And then to a waitress at the High Hat Club, where she tried to look older with Max Factor's pancake number 31, and was confronted with these direct probing questions like, are you in the life? You turn tricks. Her mother's advice, remember. You ask for what you want, and you pay for what you get. And I'm going to show you that it ain't no trouble when you pack double.
that wasn't just advice. It underscored this deeply pragmatic approach to survival, self-sufficiency, that Maya clearly internalized and lived by.
Her mother's pragmatism, that unflinching realism, went even further, explicitly telling Maya, "Remember, if you decide for the army, I'll support you. If you decide to be a whore, all I can say is be the best. Don't be a funky chippy. Go with class."
Wow, that's quite a statement.
It really is. It illustrates this survivalist mentality rooted in making the absolute most of any situation, no matter how unconventional or morally gray it might seem from the outside. Later, Maya even considered joining officer candidate school in the Army, maneuvering between outrageous lies and delicate untruths about being married or having children. It just highlights how she was constantly evaluating opportunities for stability and advancement, regardless of societal norms. This leads us to an important question, I think. How do we maintain our core sense of self and purpose when we are constantly adapting? And these ever-shifting societal expectations, her experiences, going from Maya to Riddy to Mary to Sugar, her work name at the prostitution house, powerfully illustrate the fluidity of identity and the profound resilience required to navigate these continuous shifts. The casual confidence of her mother handling the baby, in stark contrast to Maya's own apprehension about changing diapers or even touching the throbbing pulse on his head. It highlights the deep internal struggles of a new mother grappling with this overwhelming, unexpected role. We also see her navigating complex relationships, like the affair with Curly, acknowledging the pain but strategically storing it in that inaccessible region of the mind where one puts the memory of pain and other unpleasantries.
Right. Compartmentalizing.
Exactly. The sheer depth and breadth of her experience, even in these difficult, sometimes unsavory settings, provided an incredibly rich tapestry for her later understanding of human nature and society.
It's a powerful illustration of self-preservation and an incredibly resilient, evolving identity. For you, our listener, our second practical takeaway is embracing adaptability and defining your own narrative. You, too, can learn to navigate new roles and challenges, drawing on your innate human capacity to adapt.
That's right.
Maya Angelou's willingness to take on varied jobs, even those that embarrassed her, shows that every experience can be a stepping stone. Building essential skills and a deeper understanding about yourself and the world around you, even if it feels temporary or unsavory at the time. It's about being open to learning, really, no matter the context, and consciously extracting value and lessons from every single moment.
And Maya's path, as we've seen, was anything but linear, twisted and turned through this fascinating array of different forms of artistic expression. From a waitress, to a dancer, to a singer, she was constantly seeking her stage, her platform for self-expression. She committed wholeheartedly to a show business career, dancing until her ankles ached, practicing tirelessly to Charlie Parker's Cool Breeze and Bud Powell's piano, constantly dreaming of big time, joining Duke Ellington's or Count Basie's legendary road shows.
It's truly fascinating how she threw herself so completely into that world, that commitment to dance, practicing until her ankles ached. It reveals such intense discipline, a profound drive. Even her attempt at a homemade costume for her tap act, a faithful copy of a popular interpretive dancer, LaTanya, shows her soaring ambition, her desire for success. Even if it didn't quite land with her partner RL, who dismissed it rather harshly as a shake dancer's rig. The subsequent pivot from dance to singing further exemplifies this relentless quest for expression. She initially sang clever little songs only moderately well in a club on the Lower East Side, finding the work increasingly embarrassing, superficial, amidst the powerful, purposeful art of figures like Abby Lincoln, Max Roach, Lorraine Hansberry, James Baldwin.
Yeah, they were engaged with liberation themes, the uncomfortable facts about black soldiers in a white army, much heavier stuff.
Exactly.
And this is truly where we see her burgeoning artistic identity begin to crystallize, to really solidify his purpose. It's a powerful and deeply personal moment when she makes that conscious decision to quit show business. Give up the skin-tight dresses and manicured smiles. I would never again work to make people smile inanely and would take on the responsibility of making them think.
That's a declaration.
It really is. This is not just a critical turning point. It's a profound declaration of her intent, shifting from mere entertainment to meaningful impact. She felt this urgent, profound call to demonstrate my own seriousness to herself and to the world. Yet, almost immediately after this deeply personal vow, she receives an offer for the legendary Apollo Theater.
So, okay, what does this all mean for her stated intention to make people think? She'd just decided to step away from simply entertaining to pursue this path of deeper meaning. And then the biggest entertainment stage for Black artists calls. Talk about timing.
Right.
How did she reconcile that profound internal shift with such a monumental external opportunity?
That's precisely the tension and the insight. It prompts us to consider what truly happens when an incredible opportunity knocks on your door right after you've declared a completely different path yourself. She recognized that the Apollo audience, primarily black, was changing. The echo of African drums was less distant in 1959. This evolving consciousness within the audience allowed her to sing uhuru, meaning freedom, engaging the audience not just as spectators, but as active participants in this powerful collective anthem. She didn't see herself just as a singer. She saw herself as carrying the anthem and carrying the flag.
Powerful image.
Isn't it? This experience, though it didn't win her worldwide fame or wealth, gave her immense confidence. Crucially, she left show business at the right time, stepping down from the pinnacle of the Apollo's stage, having strategically transformed entertainment into a platform for shared identity, a resonant call for freedom. It was a deeply purposeful use of her gifts, a beautiful alignment of art and advocacy.
Her ability to pivot, to transform her art for a higher purpose, to infuse entertainment with profound meaning, it's truly inspiring. She understood her voice could do so much more than just entertain. It could unite, empower, awaken. So our third practical takeaway for you is aligning your gifts with your purpose. Consider how your unique talents, whether artistic, professional, personal, whatever they are, how they can be channeled into something that not only brings you joy and fulfillment, but also contributes to a larger message or community. Like Maya, don't be afraid to pivot, even if it feels counterintuitive to your previous path, and use every stage, every platform, every opportunity to make people think. Your skills are inherently adaptable, and their impact can be magnified exponentially when aligned with a deeper, more meaningful calling.
And Maya's journey, far from settling, continued to broaden its horizon across continents, immersing her in diverse cultures and complex political landscapes. Traveling with the production of Porgy and Bess exposed her to the vibrant street life of Italy, the intriguing history of Yugoslavia, the intellectual hub of Paris, and then, most dramatically, to Africa.
Right.
This was so much more than tourism, wasn't it? It was a profound, deeply personal search for connection, for understanding, for a deeper sense of self in a global context. She even fantasized about one of her companions, Yanko, leading an expedition to civilize Europe, with her as the cantante, sitting in the prow singing us to victory. A bit of humor there, too.
What's truly fascinating here is her evolving perspective on race and identity as she moved through these different cultures. In Venice, she explicitly states she loved Venice and Venetians, feeling so immersed that she nearly felt Italian herself, even waving her hands and wagging her head as if I was being carried off against my will. In Yugoslavia, despite encountering an old man who insisted she was a very dark Yugoslav from a specific town like Split or Dubrovnik, she found amusement in the cultural exchange, even though no one could convince the man that I belonged to a different race and country.
Little moments of curiosity.
Exactly. But then, in Paris, the tone shifts. She was abruptly confronted by a pianist with a molasses accent from San Antonio that instantly recalled lynchings, insults, and hate, reminding her of the deeply ingrained, pervasive nature of racial prejudice, even abroad. She describes this as bizarre and jarring.
But the true revelation, both exhilarating and challenging, came with her arrival in Africa. That initial, almost overwhelming excitement, Africans, my God, now I have lived, real Africans, was soon, diluted by a familiar and disheartening sight. Bellhops, porters, doormen, and busboys were black and brown, while the desk clerk, head waiters, bartenders, and hotel manager were white.
Echoes of power dynamics.
Exactly. This stark reality initially threatened to spoil the idealized vision she held. However, it didn't entirely. The presence of Gamal Abdel Nasser as president, a brown-skinned leader who, without a doubt he was one of us, provided this powerful counter-narrative, connecting her to a figure of black leadership and empowerment on the global stage. This observation challenged her idealized vision, yes, but also solidified a powerful, tangible connection to a larger black identity.
And here's where it gets truly layered and complex on a personal level. She found herself living in London with Vusumuzi Mek, a South African freedom fighter. After a period of initial intellectual engagement, she started to feel restless, unaccustomed to so much time on my hands after her years of constant activity.
Right.
It was Vus who suggested she meet other wives of freedom fighters, believing that connection would alleviate her boredom. But this period also brought significant personal struggles, public confrontations regarding her relationship with Vus, who spent money lavishly and expected her to be faithful and steady while he, comes home smelling of cheap perfume and a horse twat, her words.
Wow. Very direct.
Extremely. This led to a very frank and quite publicly aired discussion amongst other African women about her role and expectations within their community, with one woman pointedly asking her, "Have you kept yourself clean?"
Oof. Intense scrutiny.
It really is. A moment that highlights the intersection of personal relationships and political commitment.
That moment, where her personal life became a subject of community scrutiny among her peers, profoundly shaped her understanding. It vividly illustrates how deeply personal decisions and expectations were intertwined with the broader political struggle and cultural norms within this activist community. This raises an important question. How do our idealized notions of places and people truly stand up to the complex, often messy, reality of direct, lived experience? Her encounters with figures like Fusumzi make deepened her understanding of Pan-Africanism and the global struggle for racial justice. He knew the history better than most Black Americans, recounting slave rebellions from Denmark Vesey to Gabriel, quoting Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, linking the African spirit directly to its descendants struggling abroad.
Incredible depth of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. And the conversations with wives of other freedom fighters like Mrs. Oliver Tambo, they revealed the constant edge of screaming desperation behind the scenes of global activism. Their homes, despite being neat and bright, still held this sensation of impermanence. And the constant ringing of the telephone underscored the profound precariousness and sacrifice of their lives. Her global travels weren't just about seeing new places. They were about a profound personal and political awakening. She grappled with the complexities of identity, race, gender on an international stage, pushing her to continuously redefine herself and her place in a broader global narrative.
It's a powerful testament to the fact that understanding the world goes far beyond textbooks and news reports, about deeply engaging with diverse human experiences. So, our fourth practical takeaway for you is embracing global citizenship and diverse perspectives. You can expand your own understanding of the world by actively seeking out new cultures, genuinely listening to different narratives, and critically examining the realities that lie beneath superficial impressions.
Go beyond the surface.
Exactly. Maya Angelou's journey shows how travel can transform abstract concepts into deeply felt personal connections, solidifying your place in a global community and profoundly challenging your preconceived notions.
Then, back in the United States, Maya Angelou found herself increasingly and deeply involved in the burgeoning civil rights movement. The excerpts from this period highlight a time of intense activism, with a diverse array of figures advocating for change. You see Rob Williams opposing white hatred in Monroe, North Carolina, encouraging Black men to arm themselves, joined by Mae Mallory. Stokely Carmichael and James Foreman founded SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Pivotal. Focusing on direct action. Grassroots organizing in often overlooked rural hamlets and villages. Their strategy empowered local Black communities to lead their own fight, shifting the focus from national leaders to everyday people, making the struggle truly felt on the ground.
Grassroots power.
Exactly. Malcolm X continued to appear on national television articulating a more militant stance, and the white liberal population was growing, with white students joining freedom rides. A lot was happening.
What's fascinating here is precisely how her personal experiences, her decades of living and observing, converge so powerfully with this broader historical moment. Her role as coordinator for the SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, placed her directly at the heart of the movement's strategic operations. She vividly describes a powerful address by Reverend Abernathy. He spoke of Jesus as the greatest changer in history, encouraging courage to change the unchangeable. His message, she said, was clear and quick, and in an unnerving way, the most powerful, because his words were not coated with passion or fashioned in eloquent prose, making them take longer to swallow.
Interesting observation on delivery.
It is. This deliberate, almost understated delivery contrasted sharply with the direct, fiery rhetoric of Malcolm X, who spoke of the Black man being programmed to die and famously called the white American as the devil, reminding us of the diverse yet equally passionate strategies and voices within the movement, all pushing relentlessly for fundamental change.
Then came that pivotal moment, when Bayard Rustin, a figure often called the architect of the March on Washington, lifelong advocate for nonviolent civil disobedience, deeply influenced by Gandhi.
Huge figure.
Immense. He suggested Maya as his replacement at the SCLC. Rustin's experience, from his early work with the Quakers, leading protests in the 40s, to his work with the Untouchables in India. It gave him this profound understanding of global human rights struggles. His recommendation wasn't just a job offer. It was an affirmation of Maya's latent leadership potential by one of the most strategic minds in the movement. Her internal reaction to this monumental proposition, only shock, which held me vice-like, prevented me from jumping and running out of the office and down the street, is just incredibly human.
Yeah.
So relatable. It's that visceral moment when a massive, intimidating responsibility suddenly lands squarely in your lap.
That raw honesty, that immediate surge of self-doubt in the face of such a colossal task, it's something many of us can empathize with. It forces us to ask, how do we answer the call to leadership when we feel profoundly unqualified, utterly overwhelmed? Her initial self-doubt was palpable. Kid and famous, and he was a man. I didn't say anything because I couldn't speak.
Right, frozen.
Exactly. Yet that internal paralysis quickly transforms into decisive action. When she sees 3 white men were willing to lay themselves out for our cause, and all I was ready to do was sing and dance, or at best encourage others to sing and dance, a realization hits her hard.
Yeah, a turning point within a turning point.
Absolutely. She recognizes that while music and dance had indeed soothed slavery's torment, no race could sing and dance its way to freedom. She declares, with this newfound authority and clarity of purpose, I'll take care of it. Stepping into an administrative role for the Cabaret for Freedom and accepting responsibility for the SCLC's mailing list, which critically included people from Long Island and New Rochelle who wouldn't ordinarily hear of our review, but who would support it.
Strategic thinking even then.
It was a strategic, humble, yet immensely impactful step into leadership.
This shift from profound self-doubt to decisive, committed action is an incredibly powerful lesson for anyone facing a daunting challenge. She didn't let her perception of inadequacy stop her from contributing significantly to a cause she deeply believed in, recognizing that her administrative skills, honed in the most unexpected places, were exactly what was needed at that moment.
Exactly.
So our 5th practical takeaway for you is, stepping into leadership, despite self-doubt, you, like Maya, will undoubtedly encounter moments where you are called to a greater purpose. Even if it feels incredibly daunting or beyond your current capabilities, embrace the challenge. Trust that your unique experiences and skills, whatever they may be, are valuable, and that true change often requires courageously stepping out of your comfort zone and taking on that unqualified role. Your willingness to serve, even imperfectly, can be exactly what is needed to move mountains.
Ultimately, this winding, challenging, and profoundly rich path led Maya Angelou to become one of the most celebrated and influential writers of our time. The seeds of this calling, as we noted earlier, were planted early, through the persistent encouragement of individuals like John O'Killens, who directly told me I could write.
Her unwavering commitment to remembering, as so strongly encouraged by her mother and her brother, became the very foundation of her monumental literary work. The anecdote of Max Roach handing her a wrapped manuscript and barking, "Read it, understand it, and see if you'll laugh," highlights the intensity, the profound responsibility of engaging with powerful, often uncomfortable narratives. Her initial disagreement with the play's conclusion, "Black people are not going to become like whites, never," speaks volumes about her firm grasp of Black identity. Her inherent resistance to any notion of assimilation. This wasn't merely an opinion. It reflected a profound ancestral knowledge of how Black individuals had probed their faces, the angles of their bodies, the sounds of their voices, and even their odors for centuries. A deeply ingrained skill born of necessity, observation, sheer survival in a hostile world.
It's that deep-seated understanding, that almost cellular memory that set her apart. The persistent encouragement, particularly from John Clark, who so simply yet powerfully said, "Maya, you've got a story to tell," was the final push she needed toward writing her own truth. As we've seen, this deep dive reveals her remarkable talent for administration, honed even in unlikely places like managing that house of prostitution, which she describes layering with forgiveness and a conscious affectation of innocence.
That administrative talent again.
Right, this ability to organize, manage, articulate, it was later applied to serious organizational work for the SCLC, and ultimately to structuring her own complex life story into coherent, compelling, deeply impactful narratives. It truly demonstrates that even seemingly unsavory or challenging experiences can develop incredibly valuable skills that serve a higher purpose later on.
This whole journey absolutely forces us to confront how we view and integrate our own past. She used all of it. This raises a crucial question for all of us. How do we acknowledge and consciously utilize all parts of our past, even those moments or experiences we might wish to forget or distance ourselves from? How do we use them to inform our present and future contributions?
Right, not shutting parts away.
Exactly. Her candid reflection on the stark differences in perception between white and black communities, where whites were safely isolated from understanding black concerns, while blacks knew them with the intimacy of a surgeon's scalpel. That underscores the unparalleled depth of insight and empathy she brought to her writing.
Such a powerful metaphor.
Isn't it? Her profound ability to synthesize these incredibly complex experiences and observations into compelling universal narratives became her enduring legacy. The awful stiffness of distinguished San Franciscans she observed sharply contrasted with her own embodied experiences of life's complexity, granting her this unique, profound lens through which to write, to teach, and to inspire.
And that depth, that unflinching honesty is what makes her work so powerful, so timeless. So our sixth practical takeaway is honoring your story and finding your voice as a writer-communicator. Embrace the entirety of your life's experiences. Recognize that even the most challenging, unexpected, or unconventional moments contribute fundamentally to your unique perspective.
It's all part of the material.
Exactly. Like Maya, understand that your personal narrative holds universal truths, and sharing it, whether through writing, speaking, any form of art, is a powerful act of connection, empowerment, and profound self-expression. Don't censor your past. Let it genuinely enrich your message.
And this leads us to another vital, interconnected point. Our seventh practical takeaway: transforming experience into insight. Maya Angelou took every single lived moment, from the mundane routines of daily life to the most traumatic or exhilarating events, and processed it meticulously into understanding, into wisdom.
Yeah.
This takeaway encourages you, our listener, to adopt a similar reflective practice. After every significant experience, big or small, ask yourself, what did I truly learn from this?
Yeah.
How did this specific event or interaction change me? What unique insight or understanding can I draw from this?
Conscious processing.
Yes, this conscious, deliberate processing transforms mere events into profound, actionable wisdom. Much like Angelou's own incredible journey from a bashful traveler to a globally respected voice who spoke to the very soul of humanity. We've traversed an incredible multifaceted landscape today, haven't we? From the dusty roads of stamps to the vibrant stages of the Apollo, from the profound political awakening in Africa to the very heart of the civil rights movement in America.
It's been quite a journey.
Maya Angelou's life reminds us, with breathtaking clarity, that true strength isn't about avoiding challenges or pretending they don't exist, but rather about embracing them fully, learning deeply from them, and consciously using every single one to fuel our growth and self-reinvention. She found inherent value in every role she played, every place she lived, every person she encountered, no matter how brief the interaction.
That's absolutely right. Her journey, filled with relentless self-reinvention, incredible resilience, and this unwavering commitment to truth, beauty, and justice. It's a magnificent testament to the indomitable power of the human spirit.
Truly.
She teaches us, through her own lived example, that our past, however complex or painful, is not a burden, but a rich wellspring of wisdom. And our voice, once found and courageously amplified, truly has the power to change the world. Her experiences, from childhood trauma and societal judgment to global advocacy and artistic triumph, they were all meticulously woven into the magnificent tapestry of her life, and ultimately into the timeless pages of her writing.
So our final thought for you, our listener, is this. Take a quiet moment today, maybe later. Consider the moments in your own life where you felt most vulnerable, most out of your depth, most profoundly different. How can you now, with the invaluable perspective of your present self, look back at those experiences? Not as insurmountable obstacles or regrets, but as unique, essential building blocks that fundamentally contributed to the powerful and wise person you are today. Every detour, every struggle, every moment of self-doubt holds a profound lesson waiting patiently to be discovered, integrated.
Take a moment to reflect on your own collected autobiographies.
Yeah.
What story are you living right now, and what profound personal truth is it meticulously preparing you to tell the world? What will be your next confident step, knowing that every experience, every challenge, every triumph is ultimately a unique and indispensable part of your own magnificent unfolding song?
We hope you're leaving with fresh insights and a spark of inspiration. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and check back for more episodes as we dive into new worlds of thought, one book at a time. Until then, keep your mind set in stone and your curiosity open. This has been a Big L Riz Media podcast, where big ideas meet lasting impressions.